Alright, hi everybody. Adrian Nelson here with my amazing friend Jannion, who does amazing work. And today we're going to speak about a really fantastic product that she has available. This is what I got. And I'm going to open it and go through it with you. But before we get into this, do you just want to tell people who you are, what you do,
Sure.
and go all the way?
So my name is Jannion and I'm a transformation specialist. So my gift is being able to help people shift their stuff in a very short space of time. And I can see quite deeply into the root of the problem and being able to pluck it out at its root and to help people move on into their next glorious version of themselves.
And I think what I like about what you do and how you do it, it's a quick transformation, but it's a lasting transformation.
Yes.
It's not one of those things where you go to one of those events and you're so motivated for 3 weeks and then you kind of fall flat.
Yes, no, this is,
You know?
yeah, that's,
So-
that's important for me, is that my clients tend to take on the change in the session and
Yes.
then they run with that until they need another session. So I don't really have long drawn out packages. I don't know if I should ever do that. I haven't really considered it, but I do feel that it's like a once and done thing, and then when you're ready you can come back.
And you work with individuals as well as smaller dynamics as well, right? Smaller
Yes,
groups.
yes, I do group work. So that's actually what inspired this gift. So the group work that I do, right now I'm hosting a workshop called Art is Alchemy. So it's really using the art process, the creative process as a tool for transformation.
And you know what I like about that? It's because when you sort of get into, let's call it spirituality and chakras and all those type of things, it's amazing stuff, but it can be very overwhelming stuff.
Yeah.
And you kind of really bring a lightness into it, a playfulness into it. It's a very childlike sort of thing, so you get it quite easily. You kind of get the concept in your heart, because I think we always try to get things in our head. And then, like, okay, it makes sense on paper, but it doesn't make sense over here, and you start over here,
Right.
which is what I love.
Thank you. Well, that's very kind of you to observe.
It's just the truth.
Oh, thank you. Well, I do feel that, creativity is a childlike expression. I mean, one of the first things we do before we even write our name is draw pictures.
Yeah.
And so it's important that we learn to, or what I tell my clients all the time, it's never too late to have a happy childhood.
Oh, I like that. And that is so the truth. That is such the truth. So, let's speak about this. So what this is one of 7 offers, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the box. Can I keep it on the side because I haven't opened it yet?
Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
want to open it with you.
Okay.
So when you look at the 7 chakras, and in case you're not familiar with the chakras, those are the natural energy centers in the body. So there's lots of them, but you get the 7 main ones, which most of us know about. And the way that we got speaking about this is that a lot of times people come to me and they're like, Adrian, I want to open my third eye, and they look at all this YouTube stuff, and that could be a great thing, but they can also be a very treacherous thing. And I would always say start with grounding, and if you're grounded, your soul being human, then typically everything tends to go quite well for you in any case. So I love this because you've got 7 different versions of this, starting with the root chakra. So if you're just starting out, you're feeling displaced in this world, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling combobulated, whatever the case may be, then you can sort of treat yourself to this, say maybe once every month or every 2 months, because also the price is really great. Let me actually tell you about the price right now, because the price at the moment is $450, right?
$450, yes.
$450, and I'm going to put Jannion's details down below in the description, and there will also be a 10% promo code. It's going to say Adrian 2024, and you get 10% discount, so it's $405. So that's really not bad.
Yes.
So I actually haven't opened that.
Yeah, so what this is a ritual kit. So there's power in a devotional practice, and I'm sure that a lot of your audience already know that by being in a space of meditation or prayer, you get to co-create with the unseen.
Yes.
And so what me and my spiritual team have decided was to blend in the process of devotion, especially for people who find it very difficult to sit for long periods of time for meditation. So what this process is a guided meditation that you find on my website. There's some journal questions around the chakra in the particular chakra box. So each ritual kit comes at a certain level of the chakras. There's a journal prompt question, 7 questions that you can get your brain working. So it's a body, mind and spirit aspect. There's some, I don't know if I should reveal quickly.
Okay, so I think what we're going to do is, I actually haven't opened this. This is my one. This is a heart chakra one. So Jannion was asking me, so what are you challenged by at the moment? And I had some heart stuff going on. So some self-love issues, and have I done all right, or should I start again? And I think those are good questions to ask.
Yeah.
Because people sort of assume that, beings in you and my position, that we should always have our lives together. And I think for many, many years, I myself have been under that pressure where you are supposed to be this perfect person. And you kind of, you kind of place it upon yourself, other people place it upon you, and you kind of forget that I may be a guru or whatever, but I'm also a human being.
Yeah. So this particular product is to guide people to the guru within them, to guide you to the master that already exists inside of you.
Now you see, that's why I like you, because my thing is about that. Like, I want to help you to empower you.
Yes.
Not that you have to keep on coming back to me.
Exactly.
Because if I'm really that amazing, or if you're really that amazing, you wouldn't have to keep on coming back.
Yes.
Well,
I think that everybody, I think it's about opening up your discernment and working with a healer that resonates with you and that you get results with.
Yeah.
And then at some point when you are at a level, you can move on to another mentor or healer. But I don't think that there is ever a time when you are really done with evolution.
Well, I think when you're really done with evolution, that's when you leave.
Yes.
'Cause,
Or ascend.
You kind of like fulfilled your task.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these. So now remember, there's 7 different versions of it. Now let me not forget ones. Root chakra.
Yeah, so there's root, there's sacral, there is solar plexus, there's heart, and then throat and third eye and crown are on their way.
Oh, you're still working on
Yeah, I'm
those,
still
right?
working on those. So I do the actual in-person workshops, and then as I refine them, I start creating the chakra boxes to go with the workshop. So this is kind of the workshop that I offer in a box.
Workshop in a box. I like that. So I'm going to open it. I want to see what's inside. And then we're going to speak about it and also how it relates to the other things.
Yes,
All
great.
So it's a nice little ribbon. So even if you want to give it to someone as a gift, I mean, we've got all sorts of couriers and everything these days.
Yes.
It already comes very nicely packaged. Very nicely packaged. Very beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
So let's see what's in the box.
Yep.
Very nice packaging. Okay, so there is please read before use, which is normally the things that I ignore.
So basically, it's a suggested way of using the chakra box, and obviously you're working with an open flame in this particular experience. So it's really important that you take care.
Yes.
So there's some instructions on just
I quite
making
like this.
sure.
It's nice and detailed.
Yeah. So for those of you, I mean, it really is your own process, but this is
Yeah.
just a suggestion on how to create a devotional
But
practice.
this is really powerful because, I mean, when I started to give my clients homework, which is, for a long time I felt very, almost like apprehensive to do it because am I treating adults like children now? But it really, really does benefit your growth. So this is such a fantastic thing.
So this can be used for a person who's starting out or for seasoned practitioners. And it really is just to get the juices flowing, so to get the brain working around the chakras, to understand the chakra a little bit better. So those are just 7 journal prompts just to kind of suggest what this level of the chakra...
And you have different prompts for different
chakras, yeah.
And these are really good questions. Like, for example, the 7 over here, and this is for the heart one, is do you find it easy to share your life story with trusted people? Just the way that sentence is put, when you really break it down. Because, I mean, some people live with you know, their partners and their friends and their whatever
Yes.
for a whole lifetime.
Yes.
And then there's things that that person maybe doesn't know about them.
Yeah.
And you know, so if you are maybe in a space where you're keeping the secret journal, or you really can't speak, or whatever it is that you have inside, this is a nice way to process that. And I think
Yes.
to move past it. And one thing that I can tell you for certain, there is not a single fucking planet on this person on this planet who doesn't have funky stuff. Nobody. Nobody.
Including me.
And me. I could probably write the whole series of my stuff. Sometimes I think that people know everything about me, and then sometimes they don't. So when I think about forgiveness, the first situation that comes to mind, I'm actually going to recommend to you that if you are watching this, and you know that I am like the biggest promoter of journaling, I'm going to recommend that you write these 7 questions down. I'm going to say them, and you can pause the video and go back to them and actually really work through them. And you might see that even if you believe that your heart chakra is well, and you are well, and you're good with everything and everyone, these are really, really amazing things to work through. So it says, do you find it easy to share your life story with trusted people? And I mean, the immediate response that I, for example, would be say yes, but then there's like those 1 or 2 things that you would rather not have someone else know.
Sure, and then maybe for good reason, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe it's also, it gives you some indication on what work needs to be done. Maybe
Yes.
there's a lack of trust in the relationship that you need to establish first before you share your life story.
Yes.
Because
yes.
the reason why I asked that question was because sharing your life story creates intimacy.
Yes.
It creates intimacy with the people around you.
Well, hopefully.
Well, with trusted people.
Yes, with trusted people. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because, you know, this is so amazing, because even when you think about it, is that, you know, in life you are the student, and then you become the teacher, and then you become the master. And when you are finally the master, you realize you're actually always a student.
Yes.
Never really know
I
anything.
love that, yeah.
So when you think about forgiveness, the situation that comes to mind. Now, I would say on this, a lot of times when we think about forgiveness and you think about the situation or the person that comes to mind, you say, no, I've dealt with that, I should be fine with that. But you know what I think is that, let's say, for example, you've got challenges with your parents, because I think most people do, you know. It just is what it is with the next generation, and it's probably part of evolution. But you will say that I've forgiven my parents, I've worked through everything, but then you yourself sort of like develop to a next level, and you are ready for a deeper level of healing.
Always.
You know?
Always. And I mean, just because it popped into your head doesn't mean it's not done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a reflection.
Yes.
And then maybe you find that as you work through this chakra ritual kit, that you find that actually, oh, there's something about this situation that I haven't forgiven.
Yes.
Either it's maybe myself and my role, or maybe it's still something, another layer in that process.
And I really love this, because I went to this amazing workshop recently, and I got this manual that you take home, and I'm still working through it, and it's fantastic, and this reminds me of that. So
Oh,
I really
wow.
like that.
Yeah.
So describe the last time you felt empathy for yourself. Was it easy and natural to feel? That
I don't. I tend to go, as you can see.
When is the last time you felt empathy for yourself?
This morning, actually. Yeah.
What happened?
Do
you wanna share?
Yeah, I can share. I went into a process of, in my meditation this morning, just going into the little girl inside of me and recognizing, because there was in a situation actually with one of my parents where I was a bit harsh. And then I felt guilty about being harsh. And so when I went into meditation, I went into that little girl, and I just worked on having compassion for the pressure that she's under.
Yeah.
And that for me was really, that invited that softness into my little inner child space. And then I was able to go out with and asking for forgiveness afterwards.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you know what I was thinking about, and actually something very similar with me this morning, is that I think for us, like I'm turning 42 in, I don't know what today's date is, like in a month or something. How old are you?
I'm 51.
You're 51.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, for us, the world has changed really, really fast in a very short period of time. And it can be very, very stressful. But I think what we sometimes don't realize is that for our parents, even though they've gone through some changes, for most of them, they've come from a very set world, which has been set for a long period of time. So they didn't really expect a lot of the knocks. So we might not like them, but at least we sort of like semi-expect them. They don't expect them at all. So I think for many of them, they're almost like strangers in this world these days.
Very much so.
You know?
Very much so.
And I would say that if you are having problems with your parents, or with anybody else for that matter, it's usually better to start with you. It's always easy to give the other person the blame.
Yeah. I mean, that is just a chronic illness in our society. I think we shift it out there so that we don't have to actually take responsibility for ourselves.
Yes.
And for me, it's never really about the other.
Yeah.
The other is just a trigger. And when you are able to accept that.
And it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. No, it's not easy. It definitely is not easy. But when you start to actually recognize that and use it for your growth, you actually become impervious to historical triggers.
Yes.
You can stand in chaos and be at peace.
Yes.
And that is mastery.
Yes, because the triggers can actually positively take you forward. Or if you blame everybody, the triggers can hold you back.
They'll just keep you stuck.
Because this is the thing, and this is probably one of the hardest things to accept, is that everybody else is just a mirror of you.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you do all the amazing things, like, oh my goodness, I'm such an amazing mirror, look at all the great things that I'm doing. But then you get the challenges coming into your life, and the challenging people coming into your life. And then you're like, no, it's them. Like, you don't know what a narcissist they are.
Yeah.
And speaking about narcissism, I think a lot of people do not realize that narcissism itself is an actual mental health condition. It's an actual chemical imbalance,
Not everyone.
which very few people have.
Yeah, not everyone's ex is a narcissist, right?
Exactly. And not everybody that you date is your
I
twin flame
wonder if
either.
there's somebody out there that thinks I'm a narcissist just because they're my ex.
Probably. I don't have that many exes, but then again, I wasn't always very secure. Some people might think that I'm a narcissist because they don't want to be with you.
Right, exactly. That's
Meanwhile,
what
I
I'm
just
saying.
didn't have any confidence.
Yes.
It's always been so surprising to me when somebody's interested in me. I was like, why would you be interested in me?
You're amazing. Come on, Ed.
I didn't always know that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Describe the last time you felt compassion for another person or an animal. Can I throw a monkey wrench in here?
Yes, I thought
So-
you were going to throw a monkey in here.
I like monkeys. Describe the last time you felt compassion for another person or an animal that was really pissing on your batteries.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Because that is where we learn the lessons. It's
Yeah.
easy to have compassion. I mean, I can have compassion for you. I like you.
Mm.
But if I don't like you,
Ooh,
then it's not that easy to have
well,
compassion.
that's unconditional love. Thank you for that. That's actually a really good addition to that question.
Maybe you're not going to say to people pissing on your batteries, but...
But yeah.
Ooh, this is... Whoa. Okay. Now, if you haven't been writing things down, this is what you want to write down, or this is the one that you want to remember. It's number 5. How do I react towards myself when I make a mistake? Wow. And then, you know, I always say to people that one of the ways in which you can grow the most is to be aware and pay attention to what is it that you're saying to yourself when you're feeling sad, angry, overwhelmed, cornered in, done in. Because those things tell you what's happening in your subconscious mind,
100%.
you know?
100%. And I think it does throw you back into your childhood and how
Yes.
you were treated when you made mistakes. And I think now the parents that are now more educated, they are a little bit more patient, I would
Yes.
imagine.
Yes.
Well, I know I am more patient with my son. But, I mean, as a child, there was no such thing.
Yeah.
you
Children
know?
should be, what was it saying? Normally children should be
Seen and not heard, yeah.
Never really got that.
And if you spill the milk, ooh, you're going to cry over it several times over.
Describe 3 moments in your life when you felt loved. These are really good questions.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I love them.
yeah.
And I would maybe, you know, if I can add, I would say maybe think of 3 moments in your life when you felt love after maybe an extended period of time when you didn't feel your love for yourself.
Yeah,
Because it's always easier to hate on ourselves.
yeah. And there's a reason why the questions are structured in that way. So we're playing with the polarity of,
Yes.
you know, how did you feel when you made a mistake?
Mm.
And so the mind will go into that space. And then when last did you love yourself? So what I'm trying to do with these questions is to break open the mind
Yes.
in how you relate to yourself. so that we can open ourselves up for
Are
new
you-
information.
Yes, sorry. Are you familiar with Ericksonian hypnosis?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because with that it asks you a certain way, so it's not just face value.
Yes.
You see it, you forget it, and then you go back and you think about it afterwards again. So, I mean, I can tell you didn't copy these, you didn't like just write them down. You really, really thought about it and probably edited and re-edited
Yes.
it. I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you believe that assessing love is a superpower? If so, how could this change your life? Wow.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you think about the heart chakra and you think about the heart, it's been discovered that we have like over 70,000 brain receptors in the heart tissue. And so it is a second or a third brain, right? It's part of the way that we access our guidance and our wisdom. And when we open and we're living in our hearts, we create this coherence between
Yes.
our brains and our feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, something that I got and it really changed my world was that it doesn't really matter whether you go the religious way, the spiritual way. You can really go whichever way you want to go. You know, when I teach people about sort of like abundance manifestation and things, and they want to know what's the key. I believe the key is to do your best to be a genuine, kind, moral, decent person. Because when you are, you're just on a good vibe, and good things will come to you. So, I mean, something like this is really, really fantastic, and something like this can help you to get to that. But, you know, you don't have to meditate for 3 hours every day. It
No.
does help, maybe 3 hours a bit long.
Yeah.
So inside of this box, we got a box incense. No. Oh, it's like a whole one.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a nice,
Yeah.
high quality one as
High
well.
quality one, yes.
White sage, Californian white sage, and for those of you that don't know, you get white sage, and then you get Californian white
Yeah,
sage.
give
It
it a-
has,
It's amazing. I
it
mean,
smells beautiful. The energy is just amazing. I remember when I first smelled this, probably 7 or 8 years ago. I was like, oh my goodness, what is that? So I also like the fact that it's nice quality products that's
Yeah,
in here.
it's a
And obviously you've got a do you have a different one for each
different
box?
one for different,
Okay.
yeah. But I try to keep the same company because I really like their ethics.
Mhm.
They are hand rolled, handmade incenses, and they don't use child labor. So
And that is a big thing.
yeah.
So why did you decide to put the white sage one into the heart chakra box?
I feel like white sage is the energy of each incense matches the energy of those chakras. I really
Yes.
like the frequency of sage with the heart. There's a gentleness and I don't know,
It's
just
almost like kind, right?
yeah. There's an openness when I smell that incense. It's like everybody who smells it goes, oh, that's so lovely.
I know, it's very pleasant, and especially if you've got sort of like sensitivity to smells and stuff like that. I personally like the Californian white sage because it's more gentle. That with Palo Santo, but it's even more gentle than Palo Santo. Okay, let's see what else we have. You also draw cards for people, don't you?
From time to
From time to time.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just mentioning because I forgot. We got some cards over here, and maybe somebody needs to receive a message or something. So shall we maybe draw a card for them while I go
Sure.
through the rest of the
Should I
box?
use this stuff?
You can use that, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
maybe should I draw a
All
card?
right. Well, so
Yeah.
maybe while you draw a card, I will see what is the next item here. A Reiki blessed aura spray with essential oils. Okay, so this is that one, right?
Yes. So you'll be happy to know that the chemist behind this creation is my elderly mom. She's recently come to move in with me, and this is her little passion project.
Oh.
And so I did the Reiki for her. You can give it a little shake in the spray if you want. She did the actual spray, and we worked together to create that.
Oh my goodness, this is beautiful.
So it has been Reiki'd with the frequency of unconditional love.
And you are a Reiki master, so you've got that beautiful energy in you.
Thank you.
I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I always felt that You know, with Reiki, obviously, you know, you've got levels 1 and 2, and then there's advanced Reiki, but I've always felt that a Reiki master is sort of like an energy you become, and then you can sort of like learn everything and get the attunements, and that's just the way that I see it. So what did you draw for us?
I've got the priestess.
Which is the high priestess in tarot normally. So when you look at that, what do you get?
I mean, it's beautiful. The artwork is magnificent.
Do you know that these cards were hand painted, and over a process of, I think it took like 8 years.
You're joking.
And then the artist was this very amazing lady in the Thought Tarot deck, called Lady Frida Harris, and then there was the creator of it, what's his name, Aristocratic?
Aristocratic, yeah.
And they were like going back and forth and taking train trips, and it's actually the other way around. Oh, that's the back, yeah.
I'm just showing the back
Yeah.
of the card, yeah, and that's the front.
And yeah, they would, I think some cards were redone, they were repainted like 8 times. So
I remember you saying something on the video. I remember that.
a lot of intention that went into that.
It almost looks like I'm getting platonic solids. There's a pine cone here, which is probably the pineal gland.
Maybe you look at like there's some sacred geometric things
Yes,
going on.
platonic solids, the geometry here is magnificent. And
This lady used a technique, I can't remember what it's called, but it's an art technique where if you kind of ever fold a card in half or just look at a half, it's almost like the one is reflecting the other side, so it kind of gives it a very 3D
like the
sort of.
back of the Mad magazine.
Yes, you know. So you kind of get a bit of a Muriel
Yes.
vibe from it.
She looks magnificent. I mean, she's really like rising, almost like one of these relief sculptures in Egypt, eh?
Which I think in many ways really goes in, you know, in line with what we're talking about, because this is about surrendering to the broader side of yourself. And those things are very simple to say.
Yeah, and opening to the magic.
It's not always that easy to do,
Yeah.
you know, because opening your heart means that you are willing to be vulnerable in a way that might even feel brittle and exposing. And I think we always have this idea that, I don't know, we should be so peeped up and stuff, you know, when you're like spiritual and whatever, but in order to really grow, you need to be willing to be vulnerable.
100%.
You know?
100%.
Let's see what else we have. I mean, just these 2 things alone is already incredible.
Thank you.
I don't know what exactly you put in here, but this smells amazing.
Yeah, I think it's Mom's secret recipe.
Well, what I can tell is that whatever's in the secret recipe, it's not sort of like cheap fly-by-night stuff.
No, it's pure essential oils.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's very beautiful.
yeah.
This might be a little underpriced. And then this is what I love. So there's 7 tea bags for daily ceremonial tea with matching chakra color. So there's 7 tea bags.
Yeah.
Ooh. Which tea bags are these?
I think this could be peppermint. I think it's peppermint. Is it?
There's something else with it though, but it's beautiful.
I'm
So why did
seeing-
you add in the tea bags? Because this is what initially got me
Oh,
intrigued.
right. Well, I just find, you know, with a devotional practice, I think people think it needs to be quite austere and very serious. And I think when they think of meditation, they might think of like, you know, there's Buddhist monasteries where there's nothing around.
Everybody quiet and meditating.
Yes, yeah. And so I wanted to invite creativity into the meditation space. I wanted to invite ceremony and self-care and to make it attractive. And so part of the process is to make yourself a tea before you start. Keep your tea there. Go into the meditation. And then when you've come out the meditation and you're ready to take the next step in the process, you've got your beautiful tea there, and you've also got all that frequency going into the tea and the water.
I think what's also really powerful is that you are actually taking inspired action.
Yes.
And that is one of the powerful 7 Kabbalion laws.
Wow.
You know, inspired action is really, really powerful. So you may think you're just making yourself a cup of tea, but you have put all this together with so much intention,
Yes.
and then you make that cup of tea with that intention,
Yes.
and you're enjoying it,
Yes.
and it's sort of taking a very different approach to meditation, because even if you maybe have difficulty quieting your mind, which a lot of people do, it's about really just making yourself that nice cup of tea,
Yes.
being in that space, enjoying it, contemplating your life.
Yes.
I really
So
like
the
that.
intention as well is to, the invitation, should I say, is to to bring mindfulness into the process. So you're making the tea and you're stimulating the senses and you're smelling the tea and you're smelling the incense and the Reiki aura spray. So whilst it has an energetic component, there's also this feedback into your unconscious mind. I'm worth it. I love myself. I'm caring for myself. And these little messages that you're giving yourself through this little ritual is going to have such a profound effect on how you conduct yourself throughout the day.
I love that. And I mean, you can even, I mean, if you want to, you know, when you're done with the tea, you can even like put it on your plants or in your garden or stuff like that. So it's this beautiful thing that just keeps on going.
Yeah. And it's just a suggestion. So once that there's 7 for 7 days, and then once you are done and you want to bring more tea in, you can. You know, it's just to get you going.
And I mean, even as I said, you know, you can get yourself these boxes, maybe once a month, every 2 months, and you can kind of make it like a weekly ritual thing. Like maybe after a busy week, this is your Saturday cup of tea.
Yes.
You know, so you just take a moment to yourself and you have that cup of tea. And I think what is really, really cool about it is that you can really practice your ceremonial practice in a company.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to exclude you. And nobody even has to know what you're doing.
Exactly. And I think, you know, this is why this card is so important, the High Priestess, because this is about bringing that energy into your world, that you are.
Yes.
You are the teacher. You are the priestess in your own life. And so this is about getting that
and there is actually a Venus energy, so it's about the heart.
Oh, really? How cool is that? Yeah, so, I mean, the intention is to bring people into their own mastery.
And you've got a little bag that you can use afterwards for something else as well, which I think is a really cool idea. And life is creative, essentially. You know, and I think that, yes, it was very necessary for us to maybe be almost rigid sometimes with this is how I do my practice, that is how I do my practice. But we kind of gone into a space where the world allows you more leniency these days.
100%. And we don't need to go through years and years and years of training unless you want to for the knowledge. But you don't need someone to initiate you. You can self-initiate.
But this is what I liked. I remember the first time we spoke, which was online, and this is what I really liked. We were speaking about the fact that okay, let me just get my bearings here. But sort of like, it, you know, healing doesn't have to be this gut-wrenching experience that goes on forever, because your focus is very much on finding your light, empowering you, and you go forward, because it's very easy to fall for the healing trap.
Yes.
Very easy.
And I think also people resist healing because they think that they have to go into that long, drawn-out, painful experiences forever. But really, the avoiding of the pain is keeping the pain there.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that you have to stay in the pain once you've acknowledged it. You can just drop in, understand what it is, and heal whatever needs to be healed from that, and then move on. And you can do it in a creative, fun way.
Yes. You can say to yourself, you know what, I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
I'm feeling terrible, I'm feeling horrible. Nothing seems to be working out for me. The moment you acknowledge that, you kind of take 90% of the pressure off your
100%.
shoulders.
It's the denial that keeps us stuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, instead of saying, "Well, I'm a spiritualist, guys. I should be doing well."
Yeah.
Well, you're not.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, we're all human and we're all working on a path of healing. And some people will call it spiritual. Some people will call it self-development. But we all.
I like to call it holistic wellness, because then I'm like, so what does holistic wellness mean to you? Because for some people it's to go for a facial, and for others it's to go for crystal healing or whatever. And who's to say that the one approach is better than the other? See what else we have. Okay, so we've got a colored candle. I love candles.
Yes. And so, so this is also for candle magic. You know, when you...
Which is my thing.
Yeah.
It's a nice size. It's like a 12.5 centimeter candle.
Yeah.
Sorry, speak about candle magic.
So basically, when we have our birthdays, that is ancient pagan ritual. Really.
Oh, my birthday's coming up. I can use this.
So when you blow out your candles and make a wish, that is an ancient pagan ritual that we do quite unconsciously. We never question it. But that is the reality. So, and also fire being a beautiful alchemical tool for transformation.
Yes.
And it's always good to have a candle on your altar when you
meditate.
meditate.
I think it.
Does it?
Oh,
good. I don't think it... I think it's got... I think the incense is rubbed off on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still going to smell beautiful when you light it. That's actually the thing when you make candles. You have to make very sure that when they are sort of like setting, You can't sort of, whatever you kind of cook or do in the vicinity. So
right.
somebody's making a pot of curry and you light
We
up
got
the
some
candle.
potjie, we got some biryani.
Yep. And then we've got a beautiful white canvas over here. So what I also like about this box, it gives you everything that you need.
Yes. So there's an extra element and an extra layer. Sorry, this is probably not good for that then.
So you've got a nice little canvas where you can do your picture.
Yes, so there's an extra layer to this ritual, which is I've incorporated some art therapy, and that is a process where now you've gone through the journal questions, you've made your tea, you've set up your altar, so you've got a mental understanding of what the chakra is. It's stimulated your thinking. You go into the meditation, you use your Reiki aura spray, and you go into the meditation. And then you come out of the deep process of the meditation. The meditation times are different. Some are 15 minutes. I don't think they're longer than 20 minutes. And then some are 10 minutes, so it depends on what level. And then when you come out of that meditation, you're invited to express yourself quite abstractly on the canvas. And then use the canvas then to put it up somewhere during your day, somewhere in your room or near your altar, and then reflect into it. Turn it upside down if you want to, turn it sideways, and just look at what you've expressed and the marks that you've made and what you haven't made and the mistakes and how you relate to it. So it actually becomes, it informs you. It becomes information from your unconscious mind about what's happening at the heart chakra level for you, or whatever chakra level you've chosen.
You know what I like about this, what is so cool, is that maybe somebody that wants to, you know, incorporate some personal transformation into their life.
Yes.
And, you know, they might be veering a little bit towards the spiritual side, but they're not quite there yet. This is a nice way to start because it doesn't feel sort of pressing. There's nothing very, you know, in your face spiritual about this. This is more like soul growth,
Yes.
which I like. And then you also get some paint with it, and you get like a brush with it. You know, this reminds me of, I used to work for this company, and then during the lockdowns for our year-end function, because we couldn't get together, they sent these little art boxes to our houses. And it was very simple. The canvas was smaller than that one, and then there was a couple of paints, and I think there was like a chocolate or something in it, and we all just connected via Zoom. And it was such an incredible thing.
What a fun thing to do.
You know, I mean, I didn't think all that much about it at the time, but then afterwards when I saw that, I thought it was so amazing, and this is what I really like about this.
Yes, so the invitation as well is to, once you've finished expressing yourself on your canvas, is to take a photograph and send it to my website, because I want to start a gallery there
Ooh, I like that.
of everyone's art.
Which I'll put in the description, but it is www.jannion, am I saying that correct?
There you are.
JANNION.com. All right, so that's quite cool. And then you also got some paint going.
Yes. So
You know, this is even really great for people that have maybe gone through traumatic experiences. You know, children have difficulty expressing themselves.
Yes.
And when I say children having difficulty expressing themselves, I'm talking about adults as well. Because we all have a child inside of
it's
us.
still children at
And
heart.
then you've got some paint, and there's quite a generous amount of paint as well. And yeah, these are primary colors, so you can actually mix them.
Mix them. And you know, who says the heart chakra has to be green? I mean, I know that it is traditional, but who says the
Let's
heart
put this
chakra
one down.
has to be green? Maybe somebody goes to the meditation and orange comes up for them.
Yes.
So I wanted to give people the option to mix their own colors.
I like that very, very much.
So each chakra comes with their own primary colors that they can play with.
So why do you think that it is so important for us to look at our healing, to look at our chakras? Why do you think that this is a good place to start?
Well, I mean, when you take the map of the chakras and you take a map of the nervous system, you will see a correspondence that each chakra has nerve plexus
Yes.
that are like little mini brains. And I am so inspired to work with these areas because I can see that from the root all the way up to the crown, this is a step-by-step process. It's already mapped out for
Yeah.
us. A process of self-development, a process of healing, a process of ascension. And so that has been the inspiration, is to actually just use what's already there and use it with intention.
And that's what I like about you, because I mean, you know, as I said, you could actually charge a lot more for this, but again, you do everything with such integrity. I mean, since
Thank
I've
you.
known you, you do everything with such
Thank you.
honest integrity.
Thank you. That's very kind.
I suppose it's the Leo in you. Let's help them all be the best
Yes.
possible versions of they can
And
be.
you know, we all have that ability. We all have the ability to awaken the master within each and every one of ourselves. And if I can help someone connect to that, then they can help someone else connect to that.
Yes.
And that is how we shift.
Because you
consciousness.
also help people a lot with overcoming their fears.
Yes.
That's what I know, and that's what I really, really like. What else do you do, by the way? I
Um,
know we speak a lot, but we never always quite get to the point.
Yes, so you know, for me, I kind of use a hybrid of a lot of the things that I've trained in,
Mhm.
and it depends on what issue is being presented in front of me. So conversation is very important. Asking great questions is probably the biggest, and holding space and being present and non-judgmental
Mhm.
is a huge part of what I offer. But then also I'm trained in neuro-linguistic programming, I'm trained in art therapy, I'm trained in different body work. You said Reiki masters, so I teach Reiki as well. So it depends. Sometimes I'll work with somebody and I'll be intuitively guided to go straight into a bodywork session, maybe craniosacral therapy, maybe Reiki, or sometimes it's a combination of everything. And there's also a lot of online sessions. So I also use hypnosis and guided meditation. I find that is very important. And also just helping people use their voice and affirming their own process and their own energy does something to our consciousness. So it all depends on what I'm working with and who I'm
Yes.
working with. But these are the kinds of tools that I draw from. But a lot of the stuff is really channeled and guided, you know.
But you know, I like the fact that even though you say it's channeled and guided, you come from actual knowledge and understanding.
I'll try.
You know?
Yeah, I try my best.
I mean, I wouldn't talk to you if I didn't believe that, and if I
Oh,
didn't
thank
know
you.
that.
That's
You
very
know?
cool.
So I really, really like that, and I
Oh.
really like the thought that was put into all of
Oh,
this,
thank you.
and the heart that was put into
Yeah.
all of this, and the way that this can really help people. Because I mean, when I think about it, as I said, it makes a perfect gift. A gift to
it's
others,
great.
a gift to yourself,
Yes.
and I mean at this rate, because remember there is that promo code. How long does this promo code remain valid
So,
for?
yeah.
2024.
So the promo code is Adrian, ADRIAN, all lowercase, 2024, and it's valid until the 1st of October 2024. So please go ahead. You can order on www.jannion.com and get your 10% off. And I think there will be a quiz. I want to put a quiz up on the website so that you can also just
Ooh.
orientate which chakra you might need. But I highly recommend starting with the root. It's always a good place to start. And like you said, it's a great gift. So if you think of somebody who's into crystals and they're just starting out in their spiritual journey, it's a great gift for that. Or for somebody who wants to meditate and they have impatience for that, this is a good gift for that. If you want to deepen your spiritual practice, it's a good gift for that. If you want to understand and heal yourself and you're not sure what's lying in the unconscious mind, this is a good
Yes.
place to start. So there's many ways that you can apply this.
I would
rich
even
gift.
say individuals that are very in the sort of corporate world, because in the corporate world you are taught, you have to be very focused and very straightforward and everything has to balance.
Yeah.
And so you go very much into the head space.
Yes.
And so if you maybe in a gentle way want to move more into your heart space, because I know you help a lot of people that actually want to move from the very almost like rigid kind of living to a more gentle kind of living. And this is a great way to do it because it's
Yeah.
nothing over the top.
Yeah.
It's nothing too spiritual. Your family's not going to think it's funky.
Exactly.
It's
And I
just
think,
fun.
yeah, it's fun. And I also just think we can do a lot more when we don't take ourselves so seriously all the time.
And maybe even if you've got, somebody that you really want to help in your life, somebody that maybe is taking life a little bit seriously, and they are open to a more gentle, slightly more holistic approach, this makes the perfect gift.
Yes, it does.
And because it doesn't break the bank, you can kind of like give them nice chocolates and flowers and everything with it as well.
That's what my favorite way of giving gifts is to pack it full of nice little goodies,
Yes.
of thoughtfulness.
Yes.
And so that's really, this is a gift from my heart to whoever wants one.
So why do you feel that people should order this? Let's just tell them why they should order it.
Well,
And why they should probably start with the root chakra one. And
Okay.
before you answer, I do apologize, but before you do, I would say that even if you like me, there's like a full-time, what will we call me? I don't know, whatever you're going to call me. A full-time me. You help so many people that you don't sometimes realize that you yourself is beginning to feel drained. You have your daily practices and everything, but you do sometimes, if you actually do genuinely care, you begin to take on some things, and this is a nice way for you to just get in flow with you.
yeah.
You know?
And I just, the reason why I created this, amongst many reasons, but this is a lot of the tools that I use with clients. And so this is just almost like a light version of what you'll get if you come to me.
Because you do the workshops as well, right? In like little
Yes, I
groups
do,
and things.
yeah. So I host live workshops using this process. And it's obviously a little bit more in depth, and it's just so multi-layered.
And it's just so fun. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of energetic preparation that goes behind the scenes. And then obviously a lot of, like you say, like a lot of focus and thoughtfulness that goes into the process itself. And I think that to start with the root chakra is always good because it's a good foundation.
Yes.
Especially with a lot of people that are moving to Cape Town from Joburg, actually, when we move house a lot, it's very destabilizing.
Well, I'm in the process of moving, and I'm telling you, I know a lot of people take a lot of joy from it. For me, it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah. And especially when you are having to put your roots down in a new place.
Yes.
I think it's important that...
Even in a familiar place.
yes. And also just to, just the technique of having the practice of dropping your roots into the ground
Yes.
every day, or when you're feeling uncertain or anxious or nervous. It's such a powerful little mental tool that you can offer yourself.
Yes.
I was once in my favorite place on earth, Knysna, and I went to go visit a friend, and we arrived really, really late, and it was dark and unfamiliar. We went up this crazy mountain pass, and it felt like, the road was going to wash away, and I had my little boy with me, and we got out, and it was wild forest everywhere, and I was in awe, but also coming straight out of the city, I wasn't sure. And so I got out the car and I did this technique of dropping my roots into the ground, and I got this immediate message: it's gentle here.
Yeah.
And then that night we unpacked, and then my friend who owned the lodge came out, and we hadn't seen each other in 2 or 3 years, and he sat down, and we sat by the fire, and we were talking, and I just said, hey, is there anything that we need to be mindful of, anything like snakes, whatever? He said, no, it's gentle here.
There's so many fairies there.
Yeah.
So many. But there's the thing about something being gentle. When you live in the city, so let's for example say we live in Cape Town. Well, we do live in Cape Town. But we don't always realize how crazy the city becomes. You slightly on a more quieter part, and I'm like right in the middle of it all. And we don't always realize how much stress we take on with the craziness. So when you do get into a gentle space, that space itself can actually feel very threatening initially. And so when you do something like this, so you kind of get out of your mind, you get more into your being and into your presence, it can really help with very gentle transition. So I would say that if you start with the root chakra box, even if you're going through whatever life transition, so be it just that you move to a different place, that you're moving jobs, that you get to a certain age, so I don't know, let's say you don't have children, you realize that you're not going to have children, or you won't have another child, or whatever the case may really be, you're going through a difficult separation. Something like this can help you to really get into your, I want to say flower power space, but not in the 90s or 60s sort of way. But you can get back into your flow again.
Yes.
In a very gentle way. You have that cup of tea. You light that beautiful incense. You spray this. If you actually just start off your day and just spray this just over you or in your car. I personally don't do very well with deodorants. They make me cough like a crazy person.
Oh, really?
It's
wow.
insane. Even like the most expensive like perfumes and whatever, none of those things.
Too much.
I don't think I was born for chemicals.
Oh, wow.
So if you just kind of spray this in the air because, and this is pet safe, right?
Yes, yeah, totally.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just one little squirt, this will last you for, I mean, you can run this thing on like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it's good.
You know?
It's quite abundance. Yeah, it's quite generous. And so, yeah, and I mean, you know, I also, you know, with my mom moving down from Joburg, I wanted to give her some purpose, and this is also just something to help support her and give her some direction. So there's so many aspects to this little ritual kit that are so meaningful.
I think the most important thing is that essentially the foundation for this kit is love.
Yes.
It is genuine compassion.
Yes.
Genuine Jannion.
Genuine Jannion. That's my nickname.
Is it really?
Yeah, some people call me that, yeah.
Oh, that's a very fitting nickname. So I really, really like this. So if you are really interested in giving a gift to yourself, which I think is first and foremost the most important thing, you want to give something very meaningful to someone else, I would really recommend this. I would highly recommend this. I mean, I got mine obviously for free, which I love.
So yeah, may you just be abundantly blessed always, Adrian. Really, thank you. Thank you so much. And I really hope that you get a lot of joy out of this process. And also just know that the canvas, once you've used it, if you want to bring other art materials in and do different stuff on different days, then go ahead and do that. And I'll be excited to see what you paint.
Well, I am in the process of moving, which is kind of stressful for me in any case. And I do think that I might have moved out of my heart space a bit because it's, you know, fuck this and fuck that and fuck them. And whilst I believe in being authentically yourself in all ways, sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, so this authentically annoyed version of me, is this really serving me best in where I'd like to go? And so I like this because it's a gentle way of getting back in your flow.
Yeah, and inviting some compassion back in for yourself and the pressure that you're under right now, and the destabilizing aspects of moving can really, and if there's a lot of forces outside of your control, that can really make you feel like sometimes the world is against us, you know, and that that's a bit hard. And it's important to be reminded that we need our love turned in on ourselves as well.
And it's okay to be human.
Yes, of course. It must be. That
I think we forget that. You came here to be human first and foremost.
Yes. And to bring these concepts into the material, right?
Yeah.
It's from as above, so below, as below, so above.
Yes.
And so that you find...
And I mean, what I even like about this, you know, life is what it is. So if you're under a lot of pressure, I'm not a very big alcohol drinker. I used to be, like a fish. But, you know, if you do come from your difficult life and you are, whatever it is that you escape the difficulty of your life, you know, you have a drink, you Netflixing and chill, you roll yourself a joint and you smoke yourself into your delirium. What is nice about this, you can still put on a little squirt, you can still light something, and it's not like it's escapism. It's to support you through the difficult
I love that
period.
you said that. I love that you said that, because I think people think that you need to be so pure all the time.
I've tried it. It's so exhausting.
Yeah. So you know, if you ever want to change a bad habit, it's always good to love yourself through it.
Yes.
You can't hate yourself into change. So if you want to get rid of those escapist behaviors, if that's what you choose, then these kinds of rituals, these kinds of devotional tools and practices done alongside your escapist behavior start to create an opening for new information, for opportunities. You're building a bridge between those two worlds.
Yes.
And I really love that you said that.
And I think what's really cool is that you get to a space where, so let's say you do your escapism, whatever your escapism may happen to be, and you kind of go to a space and you say to yourself, I don't really feel like doing that today.
Yeah.
And I think this is what something like this really does for you. It's a very gentle form of therapy.
Yeah.
We're not going to look at what's wrong with you and what you've done wrong and what you need to forgive. Let's just be in this moment and let's just feel and experience this moment.
Yeah.
And while you're doing whatever, you know, you're squirting your little spray, you've lit in your incense, you're having your cup of tea. And even the following day, if you wake up and you feel absolutely crap, then you have your cup of tea the following day, or you make a nice iced tea from it.
Or you see... Are you being protected?
We need to open your heart.
Free now. I also feel like with the canvas, I think that's a very important part of this whole process.
Oh yes, I love
Is
it.
that when you painted something, you might be lying in bed and you're sipping on your cup of tea and you look at your painting and you go, oh wow, I never saw that, and it triggers something, a memory, and you have either like some kind of memory of what needs to heal, or it might just open up something for you, or it might open up a memory of a past life, or it might open up something for you to drop into your feelings about. I think that there's a lot of application here.
And I like that it's kind of nice and sturdy, because normally I like to put like little symbols at the back of things before I do them. But you can put a picture on here, you can sort of, put on some glitters,
Make it your own.
you can glue like a little crystal on here or a shell. It's not a floppy sort of thing. It's this wood actually.
It's just a fabric canvas on a board.
Oh, but it's quite nice and hard.
Yeah, it's nice and
And I
sturdy.
think what's nice is you can sort of, you can even varnish it to keep it safe. And it's big enough for you to kind of put somewhere, and you can take a nice space in your wherever you are.
Yeah.
But it's also a beautiful size. You can put it next to your bed, you can put it in your home, you can put it on your office desk.
You can, if you like it.
It's 18 by 24 centimeter.
I also want to just say you must give yourself permission to make ugly art.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people, when they think about being creative, especially if you're in corporate, they can get overwhelmed by the idea of even just making a mark. And so the invitation is to just go crazy, make ugly art. Don't try to make a pretty picture. What we want you to do is just express yourself, express what you experience in the meditation, and then in that process of expressing yourself, you start to get information. The expression itself is, or the outcome becomes irrelevant, which is a lesson in and of itself. So the outcome of the painting becomes irrelevant to the actual process of painting, because that's another way of informing, of bringing information to you. So this is about gathering information on what you need to change, what you need to heal, and an opportunity for you to heal.
And normally the way that we become aware of what we need to heal is by being present. So if in an analogy, you're the person who's always driving the car, and you're the one who always takes everyone everywhere, and you make sure that they're on time and stuff like that. When somebody else is driving the car and you're sitting in the back seat, it's about looking around and seeing the scenery and not being so concerned with like, be careful, the light's going to change. Because a lot of us do that.
Yeah. There's the fear of letting go of control.
And what I know for a fact is that when you allow yourself to step out of the rigidity, without trying to make it right or wrong, and you just have a beautiful moment with yourself within the space, you find that light in the, what is it called, the eye of the storm.
Yes.
And then you kind of get a better idea of what is going on and what your options actually are. Because I think a lot of times in life you want to run, because the more I do, the more I'm going to achieve, when in actual fact, it is the running that got you into the crazy space and you're feeling what you don't want. And whereas when you become calm, which is probably what makes meditation so amazing.
Yeah.
And when you become calm and you just do something that suits the mind, the solution actually comes to you.
Right. And I think also there's so many people that have got creative ideas and creative dreams that they haven't stepped into. And so sometimes, a process like this can really just kickstart the creativity again. And go, oh yeah, I remember painting.
And who knows what you may get from it.
Exactly.
I mean, when I started Reiki, goodness, when was that? More than 11 years ago? 11 and a half years ago? Sorry. The only thing that I thought is like most people that start with Reiki, I'm going to be this Reiki practitioner and that's what I'm going to do. And the years passed and I became very good at it. And so 10 minutes down the line, I'm very bored. I'm like, everything has happened. But then you incorporate it into all the many other things that you do. So we never know. This might be a start of something very powerful, and you will only really know if you give yourself a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to say give yourself a chance. Really give yourself that gift. I'm not going to make any comparisons to anything else that it is that you might do in your life. But there is a lot of other crap that I've bought in my life that has cost a lot more than this and really didn't give me all that much. So if you really do want to invest in yourself, if you do want to maybe give something beautiful to someone else, that is just kind and gentle, and I think most important, actually comes from
From my
pure
heart.
intentions, comes from the heart,
It does.
then I would say this is a beautiful thing
Oh, thank
to
you.
start with.
Yeah, thank you for seeing that. And it is definitely something that I hope brings about a lot of change and healing for whoever plays with it.
Because I think a lot of us need that right now.
Mm.
Life is crazy,
Mm.
you know? Well,
Yeah.
life is technically always crazy, but it's
Yeah.
very crazy these days.
Yeah, extra.
So, closing comments?
I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much for hosting me and for seeing the value in what I'm offering. And yeah, just may you be blessed when you play with it. And yeah, thank you.
And today's
you know,
such an amazing day because how long have we known each other? I'm not good with time. It's been
Yeah.
a little
a
while.
couple of years.
And we've never actually met in person.
I know, but I feel like like I said when I walked in, that I feel like we're old friends.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching.
Thank you so
Be
much.
sure to go check out Jannion's website. It is down below in the description, along with all the other beautiful offers that she has. You put on the workshops when they happen, right?
Yes, I do. I'm busy developing my newsletter and my workshop, and I'm also starting.
I told you you're organized.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't feel very organized, Adrian.
Well,
Yeah. So, and then also what's coming on my website is a members portal
Mhm.
where you can have access to all the different meditations that I offer
Mm.
and a once a month live Q&A call where you can ask me anything.
I love
So we'll have just like a nice little punchy, quick, rapid transformation session.
Mhm.
And then also whatever is coming up in the scene, I can share with whatever's coming up.
And rapid transformation, just in case you're not aware of it, rapid transformation is everybody advertises as this new, amazing, incredible hypnosis practice, which has been beautifully refined and trademarked by what is that lady's name, Marissa
Miss
Pierce?
Pierce, yeah.
She's fantastic. She is absolutely fantastic. But it is a much more ancient practice. But you know, all of that aside, hypnosis is technically speaking to your subconscious mind. And when you ask the right sort of questions, like the way that they have been asked, like these beautiful 7 questions, it really unlocks your mind in a powerful way, and you can have a transformative session in an hour.
Yeah,
And it can be really powerful.
can be very powerful.
Very powerful. And the wonderful thing about the way that you work, which I love so much, is that you become empowered so much that you are able to do the things for yourself.
Yes.
Don't have to keep on running back to you.
Yes.
You know, it's not a codependent thing.
Yes,
it's a freeing
exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Which I love.
Yeah, so that is definitely at the heart of everything that I do, is that I want to give people the freedom and the power and the wisdom and the access to all of that.
Mhm.
And if I can help you find your own pathway, great. It's
And
my
let me
job
just
done.
tell you something. That if you really put your heart and soul into something, and it's very easy to fall for the trap of like creating returning clients, which in a business sense makes sense.
No, it's not a very good business
Yeah.
model, hey?
No, I've never really fully agreed with it, because for me the thing is, if I can really help you to find that light within you and to cultivate that light and to really find out how to shine it and to maintain it and to benefit from it, people's going to ask you, what have you been doing? And who have you been doing it with?
Yeah,
And you're probably going to run your own mouth. So,
yeah,
you know, just for any of you out there that might be in a space where you feel like, I must do this, I must do that, I must do that, you know, to try and keep on getting people coming back. If you really come from genuine intentions and you come from empowerment, they're going to tell their friends.
Hmm.
I mean, most people tell their friends about me. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same with
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I just saw how amazing you were and how gentle you were and just how generous you are with your work. And I think that's how we met, was also through some shared community.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just saw how abundant you were, and that's how I found you. And I just think that there's enough, I don't want to say sickness, but there are enough people that
There are enough people with enough problems
Yes.
that they are ready to move past.
Exactly. And I think, you know, there's certain types of people that will go to certain people, And, you know, to not hold on to your clients, to really let them go and let them have their free will without coercion. You know, that for me is so important. And like I said, it's not a great business model, but at the same time, I trust that the universe is going to guide.
Well, it's been working very well for me.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just lastly, also what I really like about you, you've got this ability to communicate very challenging truths to people in a way that is very easy to take on, and it's very empowering,
Thank you.
and it's very heart opening. You know, so you don't kind of walk away and say like, "Oh, that bitch told me off."
It can happen.
I suppose it could happen. I suppose it could happen as well. But I like the way that you see people as individuals,
Yes.
and this is what I mean. Even like about this beautiful kit, it's put together for. It's almost like when I do my online coaching, I'm like, well, there's going to be like 40 different personalities looking at this, so let's cater for all those different people, and this is the same feel that I get, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, as best as possible. Obviously.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So it's as open as it can be for whoever. So like I said, novices to advanced people can really enjoy this box.
Well, I think when you become really, really advanced, you just once again realize that you're actually just a novice.
Yeah, exactly.
And isn't that exciting? Who wants to know everything?
Yeah, exactly.
So boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Highly recommend this product. And actually, you know, I just want to add very quickly. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, oh, I see that you speak to a lot of people. So do people just pay you to speak to us? Like, well, first of all, nobody pays me to speak to them. I'm only going to talk to you if I want to talk to you. And I'm only going to talk to you if I believe in what you do. And it will only become I don't know where this is coming from, but anyway, so only be a paid thing if somehow that is beneficial to everybody else as well. But a lot of people do ask to speak to me, and I do say no, because I don't really feel that their intentions are pure. They just, they kind of turn it into a very big marketing campaign, which isn't always my vibe.
Okay.
Maybe I'll become a millionaire if it does become my vibe.
Yeah.
Don't need
Maybe.
to be a millionaire. Never really needed to be. Anyway, beautiful people, for me and Bruno.
And Bruno.
Craziness.
Thank you so much.
And be sure to go and check out the website.
Thank you. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you.